Yes. No, there is no question of I have a problem with unholy alliance, but what is wrong with talking to Pakistan? What is wrong with talking to Pakistan? And if there's a problem between India and Pakistan, the worst sufferers are the people of J&K. There is no contention. There is no contention that the state government will decide the foreign policy of India. But what is the harm of consulting, getting support from the state governments on foreign policy of India? What is wrong with it? Why should it be seen as something? And don't position it today as BJP versus PDP.
No, one second. Why are you so pro-Pakistan, Hasib? Hasib Drabu, simple question. You are an Indian political party operating in an Indian state under the Indian constitution. But you are constantly pandering to Pakistan. I mean, what is your Pakistan obsession?
I am not pandering to Pakistan.
You are. No, one second. Your party.
I understand the ground.
Your party, not you personally. No, your party, not you personally, is constantly pro-Pakistan. And the BJP today is in a political alliance with a pro-Pakistan party. Why don't you put national interest first and Pakistan's interest second? You put Pakistan's interest first and national interest second.
There is no question of putting Pakistan interest ahead of the national interest.
Well, you have done it again and again and again. Constantly you undermined your own country.
Of course not.
Of course you have.
Of course not.
Of course you have.
That is how you want to see it.
Well, I'll give you examples.
Give me one
let me give you three examples. Let me give you three examples. Okay? Hasib Drabu, okay, here is it. Because somehow I feel tonight a very reasonable and otherwise intelligent man, fairly erudite, leaves facts, logic and moves into the realm of political rhetoric just because he's joined a political party. Hasib Drabu wants examples, and I'm saying this to the Finance Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, that his party is a pro-Pakistan party. Example one, Hasib Drabu, from me to you. When Narendra Modi decided to cut off talks with Pakistan after violence across the border in which our citizens were affected, your party said the move was squandering the relationship. Example number two, when Pakistan brutalized and killed our civilians across the border, instead of thinking of what had been wreaked upon innocent Indians, you criticized the government of India, you supported Pakistan, you said this is a knee-jerk reaction by the government of India, the fault is India's. Third example, Hasib Drabu, you want more examples? You are so openly and patently pro-Pakistan that you ought to think sometimes whether national interest is important to you at all or not. On the day, in fact, when the Pakistani Rangers resumed firing on the international border, you supported a resolution in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. On that day, you said, when the Pakistani Rangers resumed firing on the international border, on that day you said, immediately start talks with Pakistan. You're a pro-Pakistan party, Hasib Drabu, with a pro-Pakistan chief minister. I hope the finance minister is not pro-Pakistan.
It's not about being pro-Pakistan.
Well, I've given you examples tonight.
A certain political viewpoint.
Well, political view, what about your own country's? What about your own country's interest?
No, it is... You have a particular viewpoint or not?
I don't. I have my viewpoint. My viewpoint is that there must be a certain amount of nationalism in every Indian citizen and every Indian political party, which tonight, I'm sorry to say, Hasib Drabu, you seem to be lacking.
But that doesn't mean that the way you think we should think, all of us should think like that.
Well, you have a person who speaks of Islamization of Kashmir.
Is in the national interest of India.
Really, Masarat Alam's release is in the national interest of India? A person who urges the people of Jammu and Kashmir to take the war to its logical conclusion. He says, I will take
in the long term interest of India.
He says I thank Pakistan.
Why should the Indian democracy suffer the blot of having illegally detained somebody?
Because he is a terrorist. And because he's on the payrolls of Pakistan.
Then you are questioning the Supreme Court of India.
No, I'm not. I've given you reasons and statements of what he has said.
Of course you are, Karim.
Of course not. He has not only he has threatened to pressurize the state into plebiscite.
So has Gilani,
do you agree?
So has Yasin Malik.
Yes, but
so was Sajjad Lone at some point of time.
Sajjad Lone has taken part in the elections and he's a minister in your government. Careful what you say now.
That's now. That's
Maruf Raza, I find this so... I don't know what this government is up to right now.
But he has accepted the Constitution of India.
Arnab, I want to make one...
Javier Shergill wanting to come into the debate.
What this channel is up to.
I don't know. Javier Shergill wants to come to the debate and then I'll come to Maruf Raza. Javier Shergill, please.
Arnab.
Javier Shergill, please.
Arnab, I just, since I didn't get the time today and not much time is left, I just want to say one thing to both BJP and PDP in Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi style, हम अमन पसंद हैं, हमारे देश में शांति रहने दो, मेरी छत पे तिरंगा लहराने दो. Stop compromising on the security of the state for your petty political gains. Stop playing hide and seek games with the people of this country.
That Yasin Malik was released.
Both BDP and BJP are misleading the people of this nation. BJP is the first one to take credit, but when it comes to taking responsibility, you are the first one to run away. I am sorry, Mr. Narendra Modi is appearing to be a weak-kneed Prime Minister who doesn't know what is going on in this nation. Really? Mr. Rajnath Singh is guilty of suppression and misleading. They are both weak-kneed. They should be well aware what is going on in our country rather than pleading helplessness. Either BJP is helpless or spineless. I don't know how long will they remain mute spectators. It is a usual practice. BJP and its allies always releases separatists and terrorists, whether it is Kashmir or Punjab. With the Akali Dal also you didn't want to break terrorists. They wanted to release terrorists. You were mute spectators. Now PDP wants to release separatists. You are a mute spectator.
When is your leader coming back to the nation? Anyway, I'm going to go back. Maruf Raza wanted to take on Hasib Drabu. It is quite clear to me, Maruf. Maruf, it is quite clear to me. No, two things are quite clear to me. The BJP will compromise national security and the PDP won't change. In fact, I can quite clearly predict that emboldened by this support from the BJP, there will be many more such statements which will be made, many more people who will be released. And in fact, before I come back to you, Maruf, I want to ask Hasib Drabu. Hasib Drabu, will you support the resolution in favor of return of, for Afzal Guru, which is now going to be brought into the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, I'm told next week and next few days?
That was supported by Congress, National Conference and the People's Democratic Party in an assembly already.
I am asking you.
I am telling you that
I am asking you.
My question to you, Arnab, is why should everything in Kashmir become such a issue? Look at this. Look at it from this perspective. That you are happy to question if somebody follows the Supreme Court or the court directives.
No.
Why would you want the Indian democracy to bear the blot of one guy being illegally detained for 6 months? Why would the Indian democracy want to suffer that?
Okay, so one second.
Why are we not able to absorb these things within the ambit of our democracy?
Hasib Drabu, here's one example. There's a man called Mushtaqul Islam who is currently undergoing detention under the Public Safety Act in the central jail in Srinagar. My information is that he's unlikely to be pushed for rearrest when the release comes up, thanks to your Chief Minister. Now, let me remind you that in July last year, the government had booked the Muslim League chairman under the Public Safety Act saying, and I quote Hasib Drabu to you, well-founded apprehension based on previous records that he will misuse his liberty by indulging in anti-national and illegal activities. My simple question to you, Hasib Drabu, and I hope tonight, if not the honesty, you will muster up some courage to answer this question. Answer me. Why would you not put Mushtaqul Islam, knowing that he will abuse the Indian state, violate your country's constitution, challenge the sovereignty of our country and create mayhem on the streets of Jammu and Kashmir? Why would you want to reform him? Are you running a government or are you running some kind of a reform institution?
Our understanding is that you will need to get everybody on board.
There you are. There you are.
Sudhanshu Trivedi,
intention is clear. Intention is clear.
What is your intention is clear with talking to people?
Talking to people and releasing terrorists are two different things.
Did the Congress government not talk to
You didn't answer my question. You answer my question. That in July last year there was a report that this man set loose on the streets of Srinagar will misuse his liberty by acting against India. And I am asking you tonight, how does that change in 8 months?
I will answer that.
How does that change in 8 months?
I will answer that.
Answer that. How does it change in 8 months?
There is a proper process.
Proper process.
There is a... you are making it sound, Arnab, you are making it sound as if we have a chief minister who looks at nothing and releases people. No, there is a process.
I suspect,
if the Home Department suggests that there is a threat, that process will be carried forward. That's it. And if a rearrest is needed, it will be done.
I suspect the intentions of the Chief Minister, and I really am worried about why the BJP is letting you do
that. That is your problem.
No, it's not my problem.
Your problem.
No, it's not.
This is...
No, it's not.
Of course it's your problem.
No, it's not my problem.
That is how you see it.
No, it's not my problem.
Of course it's
it is the problem of every right-thinking Indian.
Suspecting the intent is your problem.
It is the problem of every right-thinking Indian.
In your mind, it is your way or the highway.
No, I'm
That's
sorry.
Not how it should be.
No, I'm sorry. The release of people like Mushtaqul Islam, the release of Zahur Ahmad Bhatt, you want to release them. And I am so glad that you are not an elected representative of any part of India. People, you want them out on the streets, you want to create mayhem, you want to take back Jammu and Kashmir 20 years.
Want to separate Kashmir from India.
You want to create chaos in Jammu and Kashmir.
Who's saying this? Is the Congress gentleman saying this?
I have a question. Why do you want to engage?
If that is the Congress gentleman saying it, let him be well informed that the biggest leaders of separatism, Gilani, Yasin Malik and others were released when PDP was in coalition with Congress. What is he talking about?
Maruf has a counter question for you. He wanted to come in here. By the way, I have given facts at every point and you have only responded personally to me on everything.
Happened under a clear, transparent policy with the approval of Atal Bihari
Maruf Raza, please.
It was not on the women fancy
of
one chief minister under a complete
I am placing on record tonight. I am placing on record tonight.
For your record, it was the same chief minister. For your record, it was the same chief minister.
For your information, Mr. Hasib Drabu,
it was under a clear-cut policy with the consent of the Prime Minister of India.
They will not release anybody who is involved in the terrorist or separatist
Maruf, we are in a dangerous position now.
This is the result of our government.
What will you do about Mr. Masarat Alam? Answer that, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Forget about other separatists. What will you do about Masarat Alam? Will you
And let me tell the BJP something before I go to Maruf Raza. Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, you and all BJP leaders should know that wherever you go across the country now, people will not trust you. They will ask you, what happened to 370? What happened to Masarat Alam? Before you give us lectures on being a tough government, tough on national security issues, you are weak on national security issues. You are so weak that you allow Masarat Alam to be a free man, you compromise 370, you change your entire position and God knows for what. Maruf Raza
where has 370 been compromised?
Their position of 370
where has 370 been compromised?
Their position of 370
that today Jammu and Kashmir government's Home Department has assured that from now onwards they will not release anybody who is involved in the terrorist or separatist activities. It is after the tough stand of the
What will happen to Masarat Alam? Why are you
shying away from answering?
Will you rearrest Masarat Alam, yes or no? Don't talk about other separatists.
Okay, I'll ask Hasib Drabu.
I have given a clear categorical answer. That once the legal process is complete, we will try to do it. Yes, of course.
Okay,
but first try to do away with the technicalities
I'm checking.
on the basis of which he got out.
I don't trust
due to the previous
I don't trust the BJP. I don't trust the BJP. I will ask the PDP.
It is up to you.
I will ask the PDP.
And one more thing I would like to say.
No, 1 second. I'll ask the PDP one question.
BJP has already betrayed the trust of people in JNK who voted.
We have done these things before, even during the Punjab crisis, when there was a separatist element in the Akali Dal. And at that time there were murders of BJP workers and RSS workers in Punjab. Still we joined hand with Akali Dal, and today the situation is well and the things are controlled. And it was the Congress which created mess in Punjab, and it was the BJP with Akali Dal which brought peace back in Punjab. The same situation is there in Jammu Kashmir. This is an honest effort by Prime Minister to try to bring back peace and normalcy.
Thank you.
But we will not compromise anything beyond the national security as we have done in the case of Punjab.
One second. Since you have managed your little diversionary speech, I would like to bring you back on track. You say no more people will be released. I want Mr. Hasib Drabu to just answer 3 questions. Mr. Hasib Drabu, will you today commit that you will not remit the sentence of Ashiq Hussain Fattu, whose deputy is Masarat Alam, top-ranking Jamiatul Mujahideen commander, that you will keep him behind bars? Why aren't you saying anything, sir? Will you keep Ashiq Hussain Fattu behind bars?
This is not a decision that is with the Finance Minister of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, will you keep Mushtaqul Islam behind bars?
There is an advisory board. 1 minute, Arnab. If you have asked a question, listen. It's not a binary world of Arnab Goswami where you have yes and no.
But you're dodging it.
There's a Home Department. There's a Union Home Department. There is an advisory board. A process will be followed. if he required to be put behind bars, he'll stay behind bars. There is a judicial verdict.
Will you rearrest Masarat Alam?
The government doesn't release people.
Will you rearrest Masarat Alam?
The government doesn't release people. If there's a court order and there's a view taken, an advisory board, I can't assure you or tell you I will do it or not do it.
I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Hasib Drabu, if you rearrest Masarat Alam based upon the venomous words he has used in the challenge to the Indian state, I can assure you no court in this country will question your decision. Problem is you don't want to take that decision. You don't want to. Maruf had a question for you. Maruf.
No, it's not about us wanting.
Maruf has a question for Hasib Drabu, please.
Mr.
Why? What about Gilani?
Arnab, may I just, Mr. Drabu, sir, please let me make 3 quick points. One is, court order or no court order, Kashmir in the last decade or so or more has had a tradition where political parties and the powers that be go beyond that to release prisoners that are of convenience to them. And so this is nothing new. But the only thing is we expected something new, because my question to you is, Mr. Drabu, please let me finish. My question to you is that did this become the key factor in the mandate that you finally got from the people of Jammu and Kashmir? Or were they looking for something better than just Masarat Alam? The second question is, the other day Mr. Siddharth Singh of the BJP was arguing that this government is a government in national interest. But I want to ask my BJP interlocutors, is this the national interest that you were hoping this government to serve?
Oh, yes, well said.
And finally, to the people of Kashmir, that Mr. Drabu, I'd like you to answer this, that you keep looking across the border to Pakistan for guidance, and you have been championing democracy. What kind of a democratic record does Pakistan have? What are their democratic credentials that they can guide you as the guiding light? Do they even have the funds to bail you out in the event of a financial situation that, Mr. Drabu, let me complete. And what is Pakistan's track record of dealing with Shias? And the large percentage of Kashmiri Muslims who feel unhappy in the Indian Union are Shias. You see how you get trampled upon in Pakistan, and you still look at Pakistan.
Well, why should you be quoting the track record of Pakistan?
Indian Constitution, or you want to challenge it?
Why are you quoting?
Mr. Drabu, I am telling you.
Is Pakistan your idea of
reality?
No.
I am telling you a reality.
You are talking of the way you see things,
If you are not aware,
sense of the reality on ground.
Mr.
There
Drabu,
is a political process that has been started. Hear me out. I just want to make one comment.
Why are you hoping that Pakistan will hold your hand?
Left to you, Maruf Raza, India will become a dictatorship. We are not here to administer Kashmir. We are here to govern Kashmir.
Really?
Left to people like Maruf Raza, India will become an army dictatorship. That's what it will be.
Mr. Drabu, let me not remind you of my conversations with you 20 years ago. And I can only give you the simple one-liner that I would like you today to affirm that you stand by the Union of India and the Constitution of India. If you do that, I rest my case.
I have sworn, taken an oath even before getting into office. And this shows your prejudice that you want me, because I'm a Kashmiri and a Muslim, that you want me to affirm it. And because you believe that you have the right to ask me this question, on what grounds do you want me to answer that question? Because I am constitutionally elected and I have sworn by the Constitution of India. How are you asking me this question? How dare you ask me this question? This is the source of the trust that we are talking about.
Because I get a feeling. Mr. Drabu, that the light of the day is coming to you from the western borders.
You can keep your feelings to yourself.
No.
You can keep your feelings to yourself. Talk logic, talk facts.
The fact of the matter is that as yet, your government has given us reason to believe that you are more beholden to direction coming from the western borders than from New Delhi. And that is the reason I asked you this question.
And that is how you want to, because in your scheme of things,
it's based on the statement,
BJP,
it's based on the statement and the support. and the support that you give to anti-national elements.
No, the finance minister of Jammu and Kashmir says tonight. One second, Maruf, 1 minute, Maruf. Maruf, the finance minister of Jammu and Kashmir says tonight, on what grounds can you ask me that question? Well, on one simple ground, I will ask that question as well to you, Hasib Drabu, and you may not like it, but it will be asked to you. Since you like quoting the Supreme Court, can you please enlighten the entire Newshour audience tonight, Dr. Hasib Drabu, what the Supreme Court said about the terrorist called Afzal Guru, who you are fighting for now?
We're not fighting for anybody.
Of course.
Where are you talking of?
Well, of course you.
Wherever it's convenient for you.
One second. Will you? Okay, 1 second. Then let me tell you this.
I asked Maru.
No, I am asking you. I am asking you. 1 second. I am asking you, Hasib Drabu. Will you? What action have you taken against your MLAs who demanded that Afzal Guru's remains be returned? Or will you
Why should you take action against them?
No,
why should we take it? Why should anybody take action against it?
Because
it's a humanitarian issue. It's a humanitarian issue. Why should action be taken against them? What kind of an India are you envisaging?
What kind of a Kashmir are you envisaging? A Kashmir that is Islamicized?
A very peaceful, prosperous, a very peaceful, prosperous Kashmir.
Then if do you support, do you think, do you, for the last 60 years, if you want a peaceful Kashmir, 1 minute, if you want a peaceful Kashmir, why do you support stone pelters? And if you don't, Hasib Drabu, then why are you allowing a man who is threatening anti-India agitations like the one he undertook in 2010 to roam freely?
If you remember Arnab Goswami, in 3 years of Mufti Muhammad Saeed's rule, there was no stone pelting.
Are you aware of the fact, Hasib Drabu? Are you aware of the fact, Hasib Drabu? Thank you. Are you aware of the fact, Hasib Drabu, that Masarat Alam is the man best known in the valley for masterminding the stone pelting agitation, and 112 people died?
He is a consequence of the policies followed by Umar Abdullah, who killed 120 kids. This is
the language. This is
you have to understand at some point.
You should be, instead of Hasib Drabu, instead of banking.
You see Kashmir.
Today it's all clear. You know, it's absolutely clear today. And I want Hasib Drabu to come on record to regret his move to support the anti-India resolution that was unanimously passed by the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly during the Umar Abdullah government that urged the government of India to resume talks with Pakistan at a time when Pakistan was not only indulging in violence but it also violated diplomatic protocol by placing talks that we complete with anti-India factions.
Your idea of India is very different.
Mr. Dr. Hasib Drabu, my idea, Dr. Hasib Drabu,
not a democracy.
Dr. Hasib Drabu, I don't need to get my idea of India ratified by you. My idea of India is simple. Where the national honor of this country and the national interest of this country is not for sale.
Arnab, exactly.
My idea of India, Hasib Drabu, is not there to be bartered because of political ambition of politicians like you, Hasib Drabu.
No,
it's not for sale. I don't need to be
ratified by someone like Maruf Raza or Arnab Goswami.
That's all right. You have not answered a single fact.
Having fought election, no, of course, Arnab Goswami. You need to understand that.
Well, then tell me once again, please, which way will you stand on the? Which way will you stand? No, I'm asking you, Hasib Drabu, will you support the resolution on Afzal Gurus?
Which resolution are you talking about?
The resolution that is being moved by Rashid Engineer in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. Are you fully aware of it?
No. If the resolution is on his mortal remains, that was already put and everybody in the valley supports that resolution. Why is it such a big deal? Why does it become anti-national? Why can't you understand?
For the simple reason that Afzal Guru is a terrorist who conspired against the Indian state participating in the attack on Parliament, for God's sake.
Yes.
You don't get that? It doesn't matter to you. It matters to me.
No, there's an opinion. There's an opinion on that.
There's no opinion on that. You know what the Supreme Court said? I'm sorry, there's no opinion. No, since you like quoting the Supreme Court said, and I quote, the circumstances cumulatively considered and weighed would unerringly point to the collaboration of the accused Afzal with the slain Fidaiin terrorist. The circumstances have considered together as it ought to be established beyond reasonable doubt that Afzal was party to the conspiracy and he played an active part in various acts done in furtherance of the conspiracy. This is the Supreme Court. You have been quoting the Supreme Court from the beginning of this discussion.
Why are you reading this?
Because it's the Supreme Court. You just began by debating on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so
when I quote the Supreme Court, it's wrong. When you quote the Supreme Court, it's right. I'm sorry, Sudhanshu Trivedi.
No,
now.
When I quote it, you have a different view on it.
No, I don't.
When I quote it, you have a different view on it.
My question is your nationalism. You may not like it, but your nationalism is at test. And the nationalism of the BJP is at test.
No, exactly. That is how people like you and Maruf Raza operate.
You can call anybody names, Hasib Drabu, as much as you want, but I now want to get Sudhanshu Trivedi on this. Sudhanshu Trivedi, now my last question to you is this. You could do nothing when it came to Masarat Alam. Now the whole country will watch. You will be able to do nothing while they back Afzal Guru in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. With your support, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, nothing will be left of your stand anymore on national security issues. You will participate. You will participate with the PDP in government despite what they are doing now, and they are doing this with your support, your active support, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Now I want your response. After that, I'll close.
I will conclude my remarks with 2 sentences as far as Afzal Guru is concerned.
No, Afzal Guru.
Serious questions of integrity.
And Pawan Verma will respond after that. Pawan Verma.
It is. Yeah. I think the more serious questions of integrity on Afzal Guru is towards the Congress party. Whether
no. I want your position. Your ally is going to be backing up pro-Afzal Guru.
Clear, categorical. There is no question of compromising on Afzal Guru. I would like to explain my position as the Prime Minister has said on the floor of the House, ye sadan ka akrosh hai. As Home Minister had said that we are not going in the politics only for the sake of the government. But this is an honest effort by Prime Minister to bring Kashmir in the national mainstream, and I hope that the mature leader like Mufti Muhammad Saeed will not let this historical opportunity to go by crossing the Lakshman Rekha.
Totally. Pawan Verma, you cannot hide behind this historical opportunity nonsense, you know. This is a historical opportunity. What historical opportunity? To trample over national interest.
We are having a Lakshman Rekha and we hope
development to JNK and they are want to spread terror in JNK.
He will not let this historical opportunity go by crossing the Lakshman Rekha.
Pawan Verma, closing the debate with Pawan Verma.
Arnab, I want to make one last comment. The predilections of the PDP in terms of its political scenario in JNK is known. What I wish the BJP can explain is the gulf between what it preaches and what it practices.
Yeah.
BJP is a party which is in power at the center. And it has always taken the high ground as far as ultra-nationalism is concerned on security matters. They were in talks for 2 months. The nation now, actually, to use your language, wants to know what was the agenda, what was agreed upon and what was excluded. And what are the levels to which they will compromise to continue to remain in power?
Their actions and words are not in sync with each other.
I don't know why Hasib Drabu is protecting Mufti Muhammad Saeed.
I have given an answer.
That is a real question.
I actually would want...
As we have done in Punjab, when there was a clear categorical separatist element and Akali, still we join hands with them, and now that Punjab is back on the track.
Akalis wanted to release the
I'm closing this debate by saying one thing. The BJP, more than the PDP, more than the PDP is the BJP's position which is under question tonight. And Hasib Drabu should tell the Chief Minister, we all want to hear his views. For some strange reason, since that first press conference of Mufti Muhammad Saeed, he has been shielded from any media exposure. Hasib Drabu, he's the Chief Minister.
There's no question of shielding.
He's being shielded.
There's no question of shielding Arnab Goswami. He will speak when he wants to. He will again not get dictated by what Arnab Goswami wants him to when he wants him to speak. He has spoken to everybody before he became the Chief Minister, and at an appropriate stage, he will again make his views very clear.
We would want that opportunity. Thank you very much, because we have many questions for him. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you, gentlemen.